on the last planet ship load where the planet appears and we're going towards it.
Let me just on him. There we go. We are live with Ratchet and Clank going commando, run by Mantodale. Take it away.
All right. Well, I'm live now. All right, cool. So this is Ratchet and Clank going commando, and we're gonna start right now. I'm gonna count down from 4, and that'll be when the run actually starts. So there's 2 ship loads at the beginning, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna go now. I have Scotto Bozo here, and he's gonna explain some of the movement and how the game works while I do the first few planets.
Yeah, so basically this is NG plus glitchless, which means you get to start with all the weapons you want and the charge boots, and you'll see him doing a lot of interesting movement with the charge boots, using the decoy glove and the wrench to sort of turn with all of the speed, and that's exclusive to the Black Label version of the game. So we as a community don't consider the momentum storage a glitch, but it did get patched in the Greatest Hits release and on PS3. So this is just sort of the best version to run on.
That was actually a pretty good airness, but this next planet's going to be really movement intensive, if that one wasn't already. If you're confused about how the movement works, I'm going to have Scotto explain like what the different tricks are, what they're called, how they work, what's banned in the category, what's allowed.
Yeah, so right at the start on Uzla, he'll jump on the fence, charge off of it, and he'll do a hyper strike, which has all of the momentum. So the hyper strike is just the move where Ratchet, lifts his wrench up above his head and slams it down on the ground. And since that's something you can do normally in midair, that's perfectly allowed. If you were to, say, swing the wrench as you would on the ground, then that would be a banned glitch. So basically, the rule is you can't do anything that you do on the ground on something you can't stand on. So, of course, you can't stand in the middle of the air, so that's not allowed.
So I'm going to town, a lot of the movement here.
Yeah, lots of cool movement. Some other miscellaneous bans is you can't go to the Insomniac Museum, because whenever you leave the Insomniac Museum, it takes you to Planet Bolden, which is 2/3 of the way through the run. You also can't perform nuke storage, which is a glitch on ship levels, which allows you to basically get 2 nukes instead of 1, which is the ammo limit that you have at the start. So yeah, you see a lot of cool movement here. He just changes his angle a lot with the decoy. There's a lot of side flips with all the momentum from the charge boots. All this stuff is perfectly fine because he's always grounded when he jumps. And of course we don't ban momentum storage.
Coming up on a really cool trick here I hope I can get in the run. I'm going to go for it twice just in case, because it's worth showing off. Let's just hope I get it.
Yeah, this is a trick that I actually found. I think it's the only trick that I found in the entire run, but it's really
I didn't get it. Missed it twice.
The idea is that you side flip off of that little tractor beam platform and use the momentum from that to skip having to move it. So that's Uzla. Now we're going into Whoopash here.
Yeah, so this is the ship levels. They added a bunch of ship levels in this game. Some of them we allow tricks on, some of them we don't. But this one we allow the trick because it's not too incredibly difficult. I'm looking just for a few visual cues here. I'm going to fire the nuke and hope for a good drop. We got actually a really bad drop, but it's okay because it doesn't really affect the later tricks, which are much more important. So there's a trick coming up in a minute called Early Mine, which Early Mine is basically we shoot a mine while we're loading into a cutscene. Like I'm gonna do it right now. And while the cutscene plays, the shot fires, and that kills all the enemies as we transition to the next wave. So you skip the entire wave basically because they're all bunched up. So trying to show it to you.
Yeah, and the best part is you don't even need the nuke to do it.
Yeah, so we don't need to clone a nuke, so it's 100% legal. All we're doing is just firing a nuke. I mean, firing a mine during a part that carries us into a cutscene. There's nothing illegal about that at all. Ooh.
This is a pretty simple part of the run. Normally we do a skip here when glitches are allowed, but here we have to use a tractor beam and go through the casual pad.
There's not too much going on here, because we can't charge while holding this thing. The only thing that's going to happen in a second is I'm going to do a little manip here, where I touch this guy, and he starts going into a running animation, and then I can stand further over here. Because I touched him twice, he might have bugged out. Yeah, he did. But normally you can get him into a running animation, and then he runs to the area you need him to go. So you avoid a lot of this walking I'm going to be doing in a second. So, when you walk, and you know.
Yeah, and then a couple more rules that I didn't really touch on. You're not allowed to go into first-person mode and wall climb. So,
Or get the extra jump.
In New Game Plus, you can go into the specials menu and access first-person mode. And in that mode, if you just double jump and mash square, you can climb up whatever wall you want.
If the glitch showcase gets shown, I'll show that off, and I also have a bunch of other cool stuff. So if you want to donate towards the glitch showcase, I have a ton of cool stuff that doesn't get shown off in pretty much any category. I'm gonna show off a few things like what would be in no IMG, just because in case you ever want to try this, some of these tricks in the run, I'll show some easier stuff so you can try it at home if you want to. But otherwise, it's a bunch of unique stuff that either I found, Scotto found, or just glitches that are funny to me. So I added there. There's no OOB in this run. There's no SI allowed. There's a lot of bans in this run, and so while it may look like I'm going to town on a lot of these tricks, it's unbelievable how much is actually banned.
Yeah, it's actually really tame compared to the main leaderboard category where glitches are allowed.
We also have what else is banned? Oh yeah, we have Clank. We're gonna go get Clank in a minute. In about we're gonna get Clank in about what, like 4 or 5 minutes? Yikes.
Yeah, just to be more specific, out of bounds is banned, but it's specifically standing out of bounds. So if you're able to like fly through an area that you can't normally go to, but you never actually stand there, that's perfectly fine.
SIs are a trick where Ratchet slope intercepts, and you might have heard that in math class, but I promise you, it's not that boring. Essentially, when you SI, Ratchet is jutting into the slope and swinging into it, and then getting a jump out of it, so he can just continuously climb up certain surfaces that have these sort of perfect angles that allow us to do it. There's all kinds of ones in Rack 1, like there's gas bar SI, but that's a little tricky.
Yeah, basically
if you
just
were watching the
allows
other
you
runs.
to get a jump off of slopes that you can't normally stand on. So we just don't allow you to do anything on those. Like, you can charge off of them sometimes, but we don't allow that either.
Yeah, we don't allow charge SIs because there was one that I was going to route in, but it's no way when it's getting in the run. But otherwise, that's pretty much everything that's banned. You'll see me doing decoy tech later on, if I haven't done too much already. Decoy tech is banned in the air, but we did not ban it on the ground. So you'll see once we get Clank, we're going to be doing a bunch of tricks with the decoys later on in Adaka, which is the next planet after this one, where we do these extremely long jumps with Clank that normally aren't possible without carrying speed into them, and they almost look like intended because they just look so normal in a way. But I swear to you, it's not that short.
Yeah, if you're kind of new to this game and you're seeing this stuff for the first time, some of the stuff might look like it's intended, but it's really not. It's just so easy to do that it looks like it.
Yeah,
But
you
again,
might.
in the greatest hits and PS3 versions, they patched out a lot of the momentum storage.
Mind if I come in and just do a little bit of promotion?
Yeah, no problem. This is a rain right now, so it's a great time.
Okay. So right now, I just want to inform everyone. It's coming in. This is No Glitch Allowed. This is a glitchless and NG marathon that's supporting Go Rescue, a nonprofit organization that helps homeless dogs and find new homes. So, pretty much all your donations are what's supporting them and helping them being able to do what they love to do the most. So as simple as $1 helps. It goes a long way. Also, looks like we did get a donation in. So we have $20 says Senator goes towards Mantos's run. Yeah, man. So looks like your glitch incentive did get glitch showcase incentive did get met.
Nice.
Awesome. So there's a lot of cool stuff there. Wow. I got an ILM boost there by accident, which is where you get taken into a cutscene, and I carried my speed so hard that I just fell off the map. So that was not intentional by any means. I couldn't do it intentionally, but it's a little bit weird on the setup. I'm not used to it.
Yeah, and there you just do a neutral cancel hyperstrike is what that's called. When you carry your momentum into a hyperstrike, you just do that to skip the second electrolyzer, which is, the little grid puzzles where the balls of light go into the things in the middle that you have to rotate.
We'll be seeing a lot of those.
We did get another donation. It was $5 from Foes. I think I said that correctly. It says, "Yo man, Manto, good luck. Put this donation towards the Ratchet movement / glitch showcase. Since that, as far as I know, I believe that did get. I can double check. I believe that did get met though. So let us know if you would like that to go anywhere else though. But anyway, I'll go ahead and shut up and let you guys get back to the run.
So Endako's
Another
very movement heavy.
neutral cancel hyperstrike to skip the electrolyzer that activates a crane.
Mantos down. Never mind. But thank you for the donation, Foaz and Mizaki. They're two great community members. Mizaki's a big glitch hunter, and he also runs a few of the games. He has some good times in Rack 1. And Foaz is a huge community member. He's a mod of the Ratchet Speed Games Discord, and also the Ratchet Casual Discord. So he does a lot for the community. So I'm glad two very powerful community members donated. I'm gonna skip another crane here though, which saves a ton of time because we have all the movement correct. So this has been actually a really decent Endako so far. I'm getting all the movement. But now we're gonna play as Clank, and we're gonna slow down the run. We're gonna run right into a wall. Clank's very limited. I'm gonna have you explain it, Scotto, and what Clank can do.
Yeah, so Clank essentially is very bare bones movement options. You just walk, punch to kill things, and you can command your bots around.
So we're not going to grab all 4 of these bots because you don't need to. At the end of this goal, they made it 2 instead of 4, and of course we're not going to get all 4 bots. So you don't need them because it only just helps out.
Yeah, the only reason to get more is like if some of them die trying to kill those laser robots.
So we just do.
Never bother to go back for them.
We do a lot of AI manips here where we're just it's intended AI manips by like a long shot. So the bots only target you. Oh my bad. The bots only target you, little laser guys, for some reason, and I guess that's we can just literally walk to the left and then our little guys attack them really easily.
And in fun fact, that's actually the only place in the entire game is the lift bot.
Yeah, he comes along and tags along with us though. So the Clank section's almost over. It's pretty slow. We have to do a few of these in this run. We can't skip them because clipping's not allowed, and that's pretty much how we do all of it. All the other skips. So now we got Clank. I immediately switched to the thruster pack there because the thruster pack is a little bit faster for height. So all my jumps are now heightened by a decent amount. Oop, got the trash can. We're destroying trash cans because I guess like these are like it's like a safe city, and there's little trash robots that pick up the garbage. There's sweeper bots. We're gonna do the first decoy long jump here. This is actually a little difficult, but I hope I should get it. So we're gonna go back to the helipad now to do a decoy long jump.
Better for distance. It's really good for long distance jumps.
So I got the jump, and you'll see this like deloads for a second, but pops right back in. So we never actually step foot out of bounds, and that's why that's allowed. And we also never get off the ground there.
Yeah, that just skips one of the little rooms where you have to kill all of the sweeper bots.
Yeah, so that saves like 20 seconds at least. I'm gonna do an intentional ILM boost here, which gets me up into the rock faster. And the boss just gets absolutely annihilated because we have maxed weapons. It's not hard in any percent either. You just do the same thing. So if you're ever thinking like, oh, this is cheesy because you just kill him so quick, he's the same thing at any percent, except it just takes a second longer. There's nothing special about it.
Yeah, not all bosses die that quickly. So that gets into the last restriction that we haven't mentioned for glitchless, is that you can't turn bosses into sheep. Because there is one boss where that's actually faster.
That boss would be the Snivelac boss, which if you've ever played this game, you will know the turret section on Snivelac is the longest part of the game by a decent amount, and it's absolutely dreadful to do any way, shape, or form, and it will be nearly as bad in glitchless, but at least we don't have to do turrets. Here we're going to do something that looks really simple, and it is. So we just basically do a high jump there, and because of the slopes, we can skip the entire thing. Normally you can't make it, but we push up against it, and Ratchet slides right up the little rock formation, and easily gets past all of it. It's a lot easier. You can try that at home on any copy of the game. Yeah, that's it. And then Barlow, we're getting into a race now.
Yeah,
there's nothing
special.
special.
Of the game, just so that we can get forced into doing another 2 minutes of the game.
The race isn't super interesting. It's not incredibly difficult, but it's routed very tight. So messing up things like at the start there, if you ever played Mario Kart, you know you can like get a little boost at the start. Well, that's in this game too. I missed the boost at the start because I didn't press X at the right time, surprisingly, and that's the first major mistake in the run. But it doesn't lose like any time, surprisingly, so the race doesn't really matter too much. As long as you're within like the 216 range, you're fine. There's not much tricks here. It's just the race. It's just routed really tightly. That's about it.
Yeah, the most you're gonna lose from any one mistake is like a second and a half.
PAL region is really interesting for this actually, because the race is actually fastest to do on PAL, which is really interesting because the PAL version of the game is way slower. Not way slower, but at least like a minute slower for a lot of the categories due to how the charge boots work, how the long jumps work, how the side flips work. It's all messed up from the 50 hertz conversion, so we actually get more speed for some reason on the Barlow race. So if you are a PAL region player and you want to get world record on this, go nuts on the PAL copy of the Rack 2. You need black label, I'm pretty sure, though. I don't know if red label is the same patching. I'm not from Europe. Which is the reason why Rack 2 is so popular in America, because the American copies, the only real optimal version of the game. It's theorized that the PS3 version is faster, but that's up for debate due to a few glitches being patched. most of the glitches patched on Red Label and PS3 are due to are just from the charge boots. So a lot of the helipack movement is the same. So if you ever played it when you were a kid, and it's actually better to play casually on Red Label unless you want to mess around with some tech. So like the maps are patched, the skill points work better, but they patched the charge boots, so it's not worth even looking into if you somewhat would want to try the movement. This is the first patch ship level due to having nuke storage removed. Nuke storage is a trick, a frame perfect trick that is not in glitchless due to you cloning a nuke, and frame perfect tricks just don't even sound like they should be allowed. So all we do is just shoot the nuke, and we're gonna charge into the wave and kill it with the mines the best we can.
And then, we also kind of hope that these guys drop some nuke ammo.
Oh yeah, you can always get nuke ammo. I'm pretty sure the Comm Gold, Ratchet has Comm Gold sheets, so like the best time possible ever done by a human player hits mark on your like leaderboard thing. And the Comm Gold does have nuke ammo in it, so I won't be touching that for a while. That was actually pretty decent. That was a gold for me, at least, but it's really not too bad. And also Lucius, I read your comment. You'll see we do not kill it with the turrets, to say the least. In NG Plus, we're going to kill it. We kill it with the Sheepinator, but we're not able to do that as he's in deload. He's like deloaded, kind of. This is a really cool planet. This is probably the hardest planet in the run. The movement's kind of crazy, so you'll see. Ooh, I don't have the decoy glove out, so can't make that jump. But this is easily the most difficult planet in the run. Still don't have it out. Oh, so there's a little barrier here that I'm struggling to get over. That is an entire path, and it's really easy to skip. So I barely made it over there. I actually thought that wasn't going to make it. And normally we would proxy up, but we're going to use the bolt crank to get inside. And here starts the absolute madness, because this planet's crazy. I get a little bit of weapon lag there. That was not in my control. The game just decided to lag out. So I want to go under the fence with a Rhino neutral, which is really annoying to do and get perfect. But there is setups. Oh, I fell off. This planet's brutal. It's pretty precise. There's a lot of things that can go wrong up until the very last second. So I made it across now, and here's this jump right here. Couldn't make it the first time. Let's see if I can get it again. It's really tough. Alright, so I made it. So you'll see that I get like a perfect pixel there, and I hover there onto the oh, and see, there we go. So like you can fail one part of it, and it'll backtrack you to the very start.
And that's also a good demonstration there that the thruster pack isn't good for distance. He did a long jump, and he didn't have any of the charge boot speed.
Yeah, you don't carry, the speed gets cut when you do a long jump, but not when you do a side flip. I have a little bit of problems with the upper left angle on my controller, so I struggle to hit parts of it, and I keep getting a side flip there. We have to wait the water cycle out here. Normally there's a Terminator that you freeze the ice with, but we completely skipped that gadget, and so you may be wondering, how did I not get hit by the shark? The shark has no ability to hit you if you're brushing up against the side of the wall. So it's actually really easy to just get past him, but that was no tack. It's a pretty rough planet due to how movement heavy it is and how precise it is, but we got through it. We're all good. There's a few more planets like that later on, but they are definitely cool planets, so I have no problem losing time to a hard planet.
And then the last thing that's really worth noting going into the next planet, Tabora, is that after he did the Barlow race, you know, the little Mario Kart race. You can shortcut back to that at any time if it's if he ever gets to a continue point that's like forced. So sometimes when the game gives you gadgets, it forces you into a continue point, and even reloading the level, it just puts you back at that continue point. And so shortcutting back to Barlow is just a faster way to get back on the main path to continue the story.
This train sequence is incredibly frustrating. It doesn't look hard at all, and it's really not. The problem is that it's really wacky code-wise. The momentum is really, really scary. You'll see me not going for a few things here, because if you die, you get sent back to the very beginning, and it's incredibly frustrating to play against. I was hoping I didn't hardlock the game. There's so much that can just break on this train sequence.
Yeah, like if you just mash buttons during the train falling over, you'll crash when you're climbing up this ladder here.
Yeah, so it's unbelievable with the amount of things that can go wrong in that train sequence. And it's not hard, it's just annoying. But that's Siberius. It's not too hard at all. We're coming on to Tabora. This is a movement-heavy planet. It's another fun planet. It's just it's a great joy to play. It's a lot of falling neutrals and just movement that you've already seen, but it's still enjoyable.
And one weird thing, which actually happened to Mantodia recently, is that sometimes when you do a wrench swing, you can just kind of proxy with it for no reason at all.
Oh, that happens all the time in this category. I think it has something to do with Clank, because I never get it with the helipack. Actually, no, it doesn't.
We just don't care because it doesn't actually save time when you proxy like that.
So here, normally in no IMG, you can do these decoys in the air, but they're a little bit more precise because we can't do decoys in the air because it's a banned tech. So you'll see me like miss a few of these gaps barely, but they're makeable. So here, normally we'd shortcut, and we're going to, I promise, but we have to get the gadget. We're going to do a really cool skip right here that's quite enjoyable to watch. So we go all the way over here, and we grab the thing, and we shortcut back to the Barlow, which Scotto was talking about a minute ago.
Yeah, because if you reload, it'll just put you back there where you got the glider.
Oh yeah, your ship is broken, so that's why we can't go there. If also the reload, you have to get 10 crystals to repair your ship, and that takes forever, so we just shortcut. We do this in a few other categories like no specs. So we're put right back here. And then we just go back to our ship. We gotta go all the way down to the list because it's like, hey, you shouldn't be at Barlow. What's going on? And we're like, oh, okay, all right, out of here. Dabo Orbit's coming up. This is the first big Clank section in a minute. This is also the first use of swing shot swag, coined by a great fellow who donated earlier, I'm pretty sure. But this trick is very interesting, and I'm not terribly great at it, but I practiced it a lot before, so hopefully we get it. This plant's also incredibly laggy. You'll see in a second. I just drop frames really bad.
We have the box breaker. When you hyper strike, all of the breakable objects around you just break. And since there's a lot on this planet, it can cause some lag.
This movement's little off, but it's okay. There's nothing. It doesn't really mess up too much. So we do like a little turn, and we carry our speed with hops, like a bunny hop essentially. I'm gonna carry speed into this, and then go incredibly fast with the swing shot, to gain a ton of speed and skip an entire section, which I hovered for. But now we're going on to the giant Clank section. So instead of a shipload, we get Clank flying into the orbit.
And there's only 2 of these giant Clank fights in the game, and this is the only one that's required.
If you're a Falco main, you'll like this section because we're going to be doing a lot of short hops onto this boss. I have to just very gently tap X, and I also have to adapt to the building. So like, the buildings push him away a little bit further sometimes, and sometimes just don't push him at all, like that right there. So I want to stun lock him and make sure he can't get like away at all, and just keep bouncing on him until he's dead. And the death scene's pretty funny though. Also, that cutscene at the beginning is the only unskippable cutscene in the entire game, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so he got ooh, he's really off cycle. So he just ran away at like very low health. So you can see how this is like very frustrating because the buildings just kind of got him away from me.
Yeah, he runs really fast, so if he gets away from you, you're losing like 10 seconds.
But we recovered it. The third punch in Clank's cycle pushes him away, and that's intentional. So we don't do that instead. So he's gonna die. I love that death. But yes, that's Dabo Orbit.
And you saw in Tabor he got the glider. This is gonna be the one place that he uses it, is on Dabo.
Yeah, the glider's got a really interesting glitch in the showcase I'll show off later. I was thinking about showing it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. But it's pretty cool. There's a lot of interesting bugs I'm gonna be showing off. Two of the bugs in the showcase are going to be on Dabo, so if that tells you anything about this mess of a planet. But it's got some cool movement. I actually enjoy it. I know a lot of other glitchless runners like it too. So just a lot of navigation here. We just speed past all the enemies because they're interesting. This jump, coming up in a second, doesn't look like it'd be crossable, but it's sloped, so it's actually really easy. There's like a little tank that tries to come up, but just kind of just gets whacked by the shield.
Yeah, again, because it's NG+, we have all of the highest level weapons. All of the enemies are a pretty big joke.
Oh yeah, I should have turned there. So here, we're gonna do a glider section. The glider sections are basically auto-scrollers. There's nothing too special about them. You just glide, that's it. You gotta follow this little robot. You might have remembered hating this as a kid if you really like this game. There's a nanotech upgrade that's notoriously bad, but it's actually really easy to collect if you know the setup for it, or you just use first-person cheese, which I will be showing off in the showcase now. So thank you for everybody for donating for that, because it's got some great stuff in it. Really fun stuff. I just hope the last glitch doesn't hardlock immediately, so I can show off some of the craziness of it. And if we have enough time, I'll do it like twice. So this is another electrolyzer. These are the same every time. I do not have them memorized. They're just but that doesn't make me go any slower. They're just little reaction test games. I think they're fun. I would do a few more of them if they had them. Some people don't like them.
Insomniac Museum that's pretty hard.
Yeah. So this is Dabo ending now. So now we're gonna go on to Joba, which is another arena planet. Which, if you remember, we did the last one on Maktar. It's got an auto scroller. It's a rough planet. It's one of the longer planets. It's the second longest actually. Some of the movements kind of interesting, but it's nothing too stellar, as you'll see.
Yeah,
nope, the only thing I should do is buy ammo.
It's a pretty good place for donations.
Yeah, if we have any donations by any chance, again, if you want to go nuts, I have another section coming up too, just in case.
We do not have any more donation. It died off a bit.
Fine.
So you have to explain something else instead.
I guess I can talk about NG Plus and how it works real quick. NG Plus. Actually, I'll talk about the PS3 port and how that works, because I'm sure a lot of people, when they want to try a lot of this out, want to play the PS3 port. So the PS3 port, essentially, every time you charge, you hard stop, right? Ratchet goes into a slide. You cannot cancel it with a with L1 like you can in this game, where Ratchet, we press L1 and that like stands Ratchet up. So then like this, I tapped it, but it didn't do anything because he's already standing. But if I charge, you'll see me doing it a lot once I point it out. But that's not possible in PS3. Decoy tech is also not possible, nor is bomb glove tech. Bomb glove tech is the same thing as decoy, it's just a little more gimps and you have more ammo. But we don't need to worry about ammo, so we just don't use the bomb glove since it's just a worse version of the decoy glove. The only other weapon
does work on PS3 is you can do the neutral cancel hyper strikes, and then there's also hover bomb tech, which we don't use in this version because we don't need to. But basically, if you shoot the hover bomb while you're charging and then immediately jump, then you can conserve the speed with that.
Yeah, so the hover bomb is essentially the decoy glove, except it goes a little bit faster and you can't do it in the air. So it's actually very similar to Glitchless, and it's kind of why we based the rule set off of it.
So we still got time to just talk a little bit here.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
I just want to say, again, I do want to remind everybody that this is No Glitches Allowed. It's a Glitchless NG marathon benefiting Go Rescue, a non-profit organization helping out homeless dogs recover and find new homes. We are about $155 from our goal. So if you guys have said $1-2, it goes a long way, guys. Maybe just simply skip maybe skip Starbucks for the day or something, and send in a donation. It really helps out, guys. Anyway, we're going back to the run.
Yeah, Franker's in the chat, please. This is just, again, it's just an arena. There's not too much to it. We just fight a bunch of enemies with the most powerful weapons in the game. It's not terribly complicated. Big guys get hit with the rhino. Small guys get hit with the plasma club. Oh, there's somebody lurking around. Where's the last guy? Did it bug out? Uh-oh. Oh, it just ended. I don't know what happened there. But we have to do actually another fantastic arena. This one's in a cage, so we now have the gravity boots, which allow us to walk on certain surfaces we normally couldn't. This is a cage match. The lava fills up in the arena. It's a pretty cool set piece. But like, we get to like spin in the tube a little bit. There's literally not even less to this arena than any of the other ones. So the arenas just get less and less complicated as you go on. The enemies just get destroyed by the plasma coil. We just turn right the entire run until the oh, there's a little guy right here. Until the like the 6th wave, and then there's people to our right, and that's it. And then we're done with Joba. We're gonna shortcut. Oh yeah, Scotto dipped out, so it was nice having Scotto though. I'm glad he was here to help explain a few things. Solo commentary is a little bit rough, but I'll manage fine to it. So we're gonna menu back to charge boots now because we don't have them anymore. But so we're gonna shortcut back to Barlow now again for the last time. I'm pretty sure this is the last time, but Barlow returns the fastest. That's what we do. Everybody say bye to Scotto. Thank you, Scotto. No. And again, just the save movement you've seen before here. We do it a lot. But now we're going to go into the fastest ship level, or the fastest level in the game by far. It's called Hubris. It's really quick because you only have to do one mission on all these ship levels. The rest of these are all optional. But we're just going to fire a nuke at a specific shot. And then we're going to go to this guy. We're gonna fire a torpedo at him. He is not dying quickly, but it's fine. And that's it. So now onto Dedeno. This is another movement planet. It features some really cool tricks and some really sketchy tricks that don't look like they'd be allowed, but we do allow slope surfing, as I've deemed it, where you sort of just glide against a slope. I don't know what happened there. But so we're gonna get up here. We're gonna do the electrolyzer to get on. I don't know why I wasn't pressing, but anyway, so we do an electrolyzer, which takes us all the way up to the end of the level, sort of. There's a little gate that you're supposed to come out of, and this happens a lot in the Rat games. Shout out to J Hobbs for always explaining this every time there's a run, but he's not here right now, so I have to. But so the rack levels are all designed where the end of the level is put right at the beginning. Right at the beginning, so it makes like a loop, and it's very easy to get back to your ship and stuff like that. So here we're gonna do a slope glide all the way up and get a ledge grab, which perfectly gets us there. It's really specific. Scotto, I'm pretty sure, found on Bible Thumb. Scotto, come back. It's really easy, it's really simple, but it's actually kind of, I don't know why I said it was easy, but it is pretty simple. We're actually on pace for PB, if I can keep going. But Tadano's a really cool planet. Here comes another trick called Tree, and if you know Rack 1, you know trees are terrible. Just throughout the Rack games, trees are always the bane of our existence. This one's not too bad, but you can still mess it up, so there's that. Let's see if I get it. So we have to prove that we're standing on it, though. We can't SI. It's kind of pixel perfect for the most part. But it's not terribly difficult. Hopefully I can get it soon. Okay, so we do a perfect dodge to get around here. There's an invisible wall that we like basically tiptoe around. It's so close. Yeah, and then here we're going to be doing a hyper strike due to height abuse. So we're going to go over this wall, and then we're going to land inbounds again. They just put little fences up thinking they could block us out, but clearly they could not. So we wait on the elevator here. There's a lot of just going on pace game. Tree is free. It's pretty free in this too. It's just sometimes it's picky. Sometimes I can't get the right camera I want. The camera is the bane of the existence. This is my favorite piece of movement in the run. It's just so smooth. It feels so good to watch. So we had to walk down the one little mag rail a minute ago. And that was fun, but we're not going to do that because it's not as fun as it looks. And I don't want to do it. So we're gonna do a little like weird movement thing here, where we're gonna just jump off the building. Oh, it actually caught me. So somebody tried to save me. It's like The Incredibles or something. So we're gonna fall off here intentionally. This guy's gonna try and catch me again. They keep trying to save me. They're trying to prevent me. But so that's bold and done. It's almost as long as the no AMG strat on PS3. So this is the Clank section again. We're going to be doing more Clank sections. Clank sections are something. This is the one we have to do like in every run. This is not skippable. You spawn in this Clank. I don't know how much time I have for the glitch showcase, but I can showcase the potential for the skip. There is currently a clip called Box Clip, which is only possible on PS2, which lets you get out of bounds as Clank and into the Ratchet section. The only problem is that nothing in the Ratchet section is loaded in. You cannot use you cannot use anything over there. You can't use the vendor. You can't attack the enemies. It's really interesting. It's almost surreal in a way, but it could be a thing, but also it doesn't look like it. It's so unbelievably tightly knit over there that there's no way to get out of the current bounds that we have. So if you're a glitch hunter and you're looking for something kind of impossible to figure out, I'll show it off later. But again, this is just Clank section. We're going to be hitting the enemies not with the Gadgetbots now, but with Clank. We're going to specifically punch him into the box, and this guy's going to spawn in. He's going to miss because of an angle I took, and then I'm going to punch him off. And we're just going to get all 4 Gadgetbots nicely into the thing, and now we're going to be playing as Ratchet. This will be the shortest Ratchet section in the game by a long shot. You play as Ratchet for a total like 12 seconds. Not really, more like 20, 30. They're really popping off with the mag boot segments in this game. They really want to show off these mag boots. They're 1,000 times better than the Rack 1 ones because Ratchet can jump now, which is great. So now the point of the magnet boots is gone. So they just kind of like showing upside down parts of the map. So the Ratchet section's ending now. Now we're going back to play Clank. Yay. Yeah, it's kind of like Pokey Skip, if you know what that is. It's elusive, it's not going to happen. This is the longest planet in the run. If anybody has any donations or anything, or would like to read out anything, you're free to, because nothing interesting is going to be happening. Not for a bit. The longest planet in the run by a long shot. It's 5 to 6 minutes. We've already been through at least 2, 3. Chicken bots are extremely annoying. The hitboxes for literally everything in this entire area is really annoying. Also, there's a potential to soft lock here coming up. I just need to die to reset it, but one of the Gadgetbots can fall off, and then you can't complete the section. Yeah, I have no doubts that Pokey Skip will someday be a thing. But this is just an amazing Clank section. This is one of the downfalls of how Glitchless works, but otherwise it's got some amazing stuff in it. I'm a big fan. My controller just doesn't like angles. Ah man, I was trying to tell the Gadgetbots to follow, and he listened when he was in the middle of his thing. So this Hammerbot can soft lock the game, and I'm gonna do soft lock prevention here by telling him to salute and God bless America, so that he does not knock off any of the enemies. When he salutes, he stands still, so he does not walk on the bridge at the same time as the Gadgetbot, so they don't fall off, which is great because I don't want them to fall off. All right, so now we're back as Ratchet. We get another wrench, and then we're gonna be actually doing somewhat interesting stuff, but again, it's just more Magnaboot stuff. They really love these sections for some reason. I mean, they're okay casually. They're pretty fun, I guess. It's cool set pieces, but they really pop off with them. So now we're gonna use one of the gadgets we got earlier that I used for like literally 1 second. I don't remember this one. There we go. Top 10 haze. So I might have bad cycle here. Yeah, I do. So I have bad cycle for the lava. Lava's on a global cycle, so basically the second I start playing the game, the lava goes up and down and up and down. Even watching cutscenes, because all the cutscenes are pretty much ILMs, which if you know what ILM stands for in-level movies. So that means everything's rendered like as you do, as you play the game. So it uses the actual character models, so it feels a little bit more lifelike. But of course that has downsides of like speed carries into ILMs and stuff, and just cutscene backgrounds being moved. It's used in a lot of games like Grand Theft Auto, GTA. It's a very popular style of doing cutscenes, and it's All right, so we're coming up on Gorn, another ship level, and it's very interesting. Not really. So we're just gonna go around. We fired a nuke to make sure we can damage the enemies, and then that's it. The level's done. It's that easy. So this is Snivelak now. This is one of the most dreaded planets for a casual player, and it's somewhat same level of dread for a speedrunner, as we're going to be doing some interesting, very interesting movement and just things to the bosses. So I'm going to do in swing shot swag again to get up high. And then we're going to do a long charge here into a hyper strike, which looks like it's not going to work, but it works most of the time. Oop, my angle was a little bit too tight there. Alright, so I did it way too late, so I didn't get it, but you can make that jump. I promise you. So we made the jump there. So now we gotta this area is like deloaded, but it is in bounds 100%. It just doesn't load because it's like, what are you doing over here at this part in the game? We need to buy ammo for everything now because we do like an ammo manip essentially, which makes it so that we don't need to. We're gonna manip the ammo crates so that they give us the ammo I want them to. So we want to have Rhino ammo because that shreds the boss. And right here I'm gonna kill all the enemies here to gain access to. Okay, and then we're gonna go into the Sniv boss. Now you might have dreaded this boss as a kid, but we're not gonna use the turret sections. Due to them being extremely slow. His health bar didn't load in there for a minute, but he deals heavy damage. I should also include that we're not using the best armor in the game. Why would you not? Like, it's better if it protects you. But the thing is that the best armor in the game isn't actually the best due to it unequips the charge boots because Ratchet's feet aren't modeled. And it sounds really bizarre, and it is, but I didn't get that ammo. Ratchet doesn't get his, he gets like his shoe model covered, which thus takes off the charge boots at the start of the game, so you would have to menu them again. And also, every time I put on the mag boots, like it auto-equips them, I have to put on the charge boots. So it's a total waste of time to have the max armor. So we just suffer through with lower tiered armor just because it is way faster. Skins are also like this. I'm out of ammo on a Rhino now, so now I just got to use I have to use the hover bomb. And now it is finally dead after a while. So we're coming up on the last few planets in the game. So we're going on to Smolg, which is a decently lengthy planet. It's about 2 minutes, so anything beyond 2 minutes is kind of long. And then we're gonna go to Grelbin, which is a really quick planet, and then we're gonna go to Yeetle, the final planet, which is decently long, which is about 4 minutes. But so we're almost on the run now. We have to buy ammo because we used all of it on that fight. Oh. I did a weird glitch there that I didn't think I was gonna get. Essentially, when you shoot the Rhino or any sort of like item or gun and carry speed into the jump pads, they misposition you. And this causes like a few weird things. This has now recently been developed fully. as we do like a weird jump on it's called Big Mob Jump on Snivelac. I mean Smolg, where we cut like half the level by just doing a big jump. This dynamo takes 2 hits for some reason. It's the only one that does it. I don't know why it takes 2 hits, it just does. We can't go through these crates until they've all been cleared out. Like that one. This is almost the end of the level. There's not too many skips here, besides that one I did with the boxes, which skips like at least like 40 seconds. But this plan is not terribly long, because they expect you to take 4 other paths, so we don't go to any of them. We don't feel like going to them. Here's a great part of the run, right here on this electrolyzer, actually. It makes a little heart, so, you know, isn't that cute? Oh, I actually failed it. I actually wasn't even looking. Oh my gosh. That's embarrassing, because this is on PB pace. Oh my god, I failed it again. What the heck? I am not paying attention, I'm sorry. I've not eaten dinner yet. Wow, that might have just killed the pace just because I'm wasn't paying attention, but we're fine actually, don't worry. I got a few things left. I actually think that did kill most of the run. Actually, yes it did. That did kill PB pace. But it'll still be a really good run. I'm really proud. Yeah, we got another heart, so that's all that really matters. I'm really proud of this run so far. It's been really good. It's pretty close to my PB. There's a few parts I wasn't happy with, but it's okay. No, John. So this is a really fast planet. It's almost identical to how it is in NG+, except it's even easier. So we're gonna do a decoy side flip, which this skips an entire gadget. An entire whole gadget just gets skipped by just doing that. I am not kidding. That is normally the endpoint of using one of the gadgets, and it's that easy. There's like 10 ways to skip that too. This is the final planet in the run, and time will be coming up in about 4 minutes. Timer's pretty accurate to mine too, so. So we have to we just skipped the Hypnomatic again. That's the only skip we do in the run for the Hypnomatic. Here we got to kill all the enemies to advance, so that's why I need Rhino ammo. The shield's also really good at killing these guys for some reason. I don't know if there's anybody else. Is there one guy left? Nope, it's open. So we're just going to neutral across this gap where we normally use the Hypnomatic. We're going to stand in the zone over here and kill enemies as they come up to us. And then these guys, I'm going to stand over here and just kill them with the shield because they get killed before they even get the chance. And then the door opens, and that's it. The guy got in the way, but... So they leave like a hitbox when they die for some reason. They have like just their legs. I don't know, it's kind of annoying, but hey. So this is coming up on the end of the game. We're actually very close to done. They keep dropping their legs. So we just force ourselves off that gravity ramp and carry a little bit of speed. Normally you'd use the dynamo here, but we don't need to. As Clank's double jump is so broken that you can just make it across all these. Now I'm going to drop some decoys. So these guys don't care if you're decoying or not. pretty much. They're gonna shoot you just to prevent you from doing the. Oh, I threw a decoy on top of it. Just prevent you from doing the infiltrator. And hopefully we can get through. Yeah. Fortunately, I don't have this one memorized. There we go. I actually do. I just was thinking of the wrong one. The muscle memory for those are really, really contagious because they all look the same. But basically, they're all the same. They just, they're like a little like trial and error. They're probably one of the worst gadgets, but at least they make fun sounds. We're gonna neutral cross this gap. Anytime we die here, we get sent back to square one. So if we die here at all, doing any of the tricks here, that's it. So we have to just go all the way back to the start, pretty much. Casually, this planet was really tough for me as a kid, but I mean, all the puzzles get completed at least, so you can just chug through some of these. The proto pet's insanely easy to do, so as soon as I start loading him in, I'm gonna call for time in a second once the proto pet's health bar gets depleted. I have to buy ammo because I only have 14 bullets in my rhino. That's the final jump, and we're coming up on time. Alright, we're coming up on time now. As soon as this guy's health bar's done, and... time. So that was a 10:43. That's actually not a bad run at all. I'm kind of happy with it. I mean, a 1 hour 43 second. That's not a bad time at all. I'm pretty happy with that. At least on my end, it says 10:43. Timer might be off on the other stream's end. I'm pretty happy with that. The donation goal did get met, so I'm gonna do all the showcase of all this stuff. There's all kinds of cool tricks I have to show, so I'm sure. Am I allowed to go for that now, or is that like later?
Yeah, we still got 25 minutes to go before Pokemon Sapphire, so at least 15 minutes are all yours.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna time warp before Quark to show a few things off real quick. This is the glitch showcase. So you know we use decoys. We can do that in the air, and that gets incredibly busted due to a lot of movement tech being really easy to do. So I can wrench jump in the air, so I can do a whip jump, which gets insane distance. So if you ever run any of the categories which allow Clank and the charge boots, it gets pretty wild. Mostly though, the staple tech is this, where you do a side flip and a whip jump. Or we call it a whip jump because it's a similar tech to another game. She uses the whip, the third Ratchet game. But the only other thing I want to show off is if anybody here has the game at home on any copy of the game, you can do this thing called a first-person wall climb, and you will go nuts with it when you find it. So this is first-person mode. You unlock it when you beat NG+. You're going to double jump on a wall and start pressing square. Every time you press square, you're going to go higher and higher and higher. You look down a little bit, that way you don't fall. But so now Ratchet can explore out of bounds pretty much anywhere he wants to go. This opens up the game to insane levels. Sorry about that. Somebody asked for something real quick. So this is one of the glitches. It's really interesting. I found this one myself. I know the mic cut out. I apologize about that. But so this is another file. I'm running with the Visibomb. I'm just gonna let you see it because it's incredible. So this is a trick known as Visibomb warp.
You might have to hold on that thought.
What's up?
They say they can't hear you.
Oh, I cut my mic for a minute. Somebody walked into my room and asked something.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but it's all good.
Well then,
anyway,
carry on.
So this is Visibomb warping. You can do this at home on any copy of the game too. So as long as you don't buy the coordinates and then you save load, you can just warp to these locations which have these menus. It's incredibly broken, but it's not useful, unfortunately. If we could find a way to carry it between files, it would be useful. The next thing I'm going to show off is it's more of like an interesting little thing to look at. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know how to explain it without spoiling it. So we're going to Endako. This is a non-completed file of Endako. I'm going to use a little bit of movement abuse to get to where I need to. But so we're gonna go and do first person mode here. We're gonna wall climb around this wall right here. And then you can see like we're looking through the wall a little bit. And then I'm gonna go over here. And right here, you'll remember this area from earlier. You might see like there's a little tiny bridge there that is tiny compared to Ratchet. But this area might look familiar to you. And if we neutral into it and we can now play as Clank again. And Clank runs super fast if you neutral into it. Holy cow! So that's another cool glitch. Ratchet and Clank are both interchangeable models really easily. You just touch the triggers. You can do this on Aranos. You can do this on a lot of planets. I'm going to swap memory cards real quick because it has other glitches I want to show off on it. I'm going to unplug it. And it's going to yell at me for not having a memory card in or yoinking it out when I shouldn't be. It might have went dim on my end. Oh, the color's coming back. I don't know what's wrong there. But so this is the bug I was talking about earlier with the glider. So there's a weapon in the game called the spider bot where I'll show it off real quick. Where you throw a spider and Ratchet like gets to control it. It's a little tank you get to control around. It's not a particularly great weapon, but oh, my wires are flickering. Hold on. That didn't fix it too well. I guess we'll just go with dim mode for a little bit. This is why I'm getting new wires soon. But so this is the area where you're gonna do the thing. If you throw a decoy, a spider bot, and then jump, you'll take control of the spider bot, and then the game can't give speed to Ratchet, so he falls and he starts going to town. Very interesting glitch. It's pretty funny to look at. But yeah, so that's that. The next glitch is also on Dabo, but I need to have a completed file. So we're gonna go, I need to have Clank, so we're gonna take out the memory card again. We're gonna plug the old one back in. Hopefully fix the color picture. And then we're gonna go to Dabo. We're gonna load up the completed glitchless file, and we're gonna go back to Dabo with Clank. This glitch is incredibly finicky. The game can crash really easily with this. There's all kinds of weird bugs that can happen with this thing. It's really interesting. It involves a taxi. I try not to spoil the glitches, but this is called Taxi Glitch. This was found by Scottobozo. Most of the glitches were found by the ones I'm showing are found by me and Scotto, surprisingly. It's not intentional, it's just the noise is gone? There's no sound? Is there no sound?
Sound?
Yeah,
Huh?
Somebody said noise gone. So this is Taxi Clip. Well, you don't need sound for this one anyway, even if I need to. We're almost done. So this is Taxi Clip. I'm gonna jump and activate the taxi to get it to drive away. And I'm gonna stand in a specific spot with the helipad. And we're gonna jump into the area where the taxi goes. There's sound, don't worry. Okay, thank you. So we're gonna jump into the area with the taxi. And normally it's gonna kill us. But we're gonna try and make it not kill us. So if it doesn't kill us, there's some really interesting effects that happen. Oh, the static, yeah. So we have to wait because it has to like drive away, because it warps back if you're not here. It's supposed to like be helpful. Okay, so it killed me again. I'm trying to get the height, but it's a very finicky glitch that'll probably end up hard locking my game if anything. It's really interesting, but if I can only get it to work, that's the hardest part. So we waited our time and we missed it, but it's one of those glitches that's so hard to perform, but when it's done, it's very worth it. I'm trying to clip out of the taxi so it can just kill me. Again, it's finicky. This is why the time estimate of the glitch showcase is so short. I mean, it's so long because it's just, this glitch is very good, but just is so finicky. Gotta wait. Well, I did it too early, but the taxi didn't even spawn in, so it's fine. Ah, it killed me again. It's just being so finicky. Mixer Beast 6000. Sure cap. It's so finicky, but trust me, it's worth it. If I can't get it working, I'll show you something else instead. Don't worry, something that's a little bit more reliable. Well, and it killed me again. It just keeps killing me, unfortunately. I'll give it one more shot. If it doesn't work, that's it. But anyway, what's supposed to happen is you get warped to like way out of the map, like pretty much another QPU, if you're into that. Where you're just floating in the air and the world map is deloaded below you and it warps into a triangle for some reason. Well, that doesn't work, so I'll just show off something a little bit funny on Yeetle, and then that'll conclude the glitch expedition. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it to work. It's so finicky. It's difficult to do, but you can try it at home. All you need to do is just jump and press triangle, get out of the taxi, and long jump into it. I'll link a video later just because I think you should see it. But we'll just show you the I'll show you a little something I found a while back. We're gonna go into the Megacorp lab. I hope this is the right teleporter. Nope, this is not the right one. So since the game works with ILMs, there's characters stored in walls. So they like hide the character models, of course, and there's like Quark T-posing in certain areas. But if you purposely neutral cancel into this and you stare into the wall, there's a giant protopet just chilling here in the wall. And he's terrifying. I was messing around one day and I found this. So that's the end of the glitch showcase. If you have any questions, if you like this game, be sure to come to my stream or go to the Ratchet Discord. They're always super active. If you like Glitchless, there's tons of people who, there's a few people who run it. We got Fear, me, and Torpedo, and I'm pretty avid about liking these characters. Liking these categories. I'm sure to help you if you ever want to get started playing this game. And that's all. So how do I cut the stream?
Okay then. Thanks for a run, mate, and the showcase was quite interesting, I'd say. Please see one of the absolutely good.
Ooh, yes. That's a smart.
I had absolutely still, it's
I have a very bad connection.
Yeah, I really can't hear anything you say, so I just can't take it like you said. Thanks and
This would be good for you if you were at home.
Yeah.
Only you're in US North, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Which yours of Michigan. How are you enjoying Edinburgh?
Oh, great. This is really nice. I like it a lot.
I've actually been to Edinburgh before. It's such a cool.
Hey there.